Alright guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best Scrim servers for NA West and NA East. I know there's a lot of you guys looking for Scrim servers to get better and get practice for tournaments, but you don't really know where to join, so I'm going to be showing you guys all of the best servers. So if you guys are excited, please leave a like and subscribe, and let's get right on into it. Alright guys, so let's start with NA West. The first server I'm going to be talking about is West Open, and I know a lot of you guys that are on West are already in the server. There are quite a bit of problems with these scrims. For me, first, they don't host enough solo, duo, or trio arena scrims, which I think is the best practice you can get, since all the tournaments are formatted just pretty similar to how these scrims work. I don't understand why a lot of the scrims they host is late game, but I understand why it's a lot easier to host these ones. And I'm not saying late game arena scrims are bad practice, but they are, not really similar to real tournaments, so I wish they did host more solo, duo, and trio arena scrims. Also, these scrims get griefed all the time. No one really reads the rules or really cares about the rules at all, so they just grief all the games. They just spray you when the game starts even though you're not supposed to. So griefing is a problem, and even if you do try to report them, normally they don't care, and you won't really get any feedback from that, so you're just gonna have to kind of deal with it. But it is still pretty decent practice if you do get into a good lobby, and they do host pretty often, which is good. So if you guys are looking for a Scrim server, make sure you guys do check out West Open if you guys aren't already in it. The second server I have for NA West is Rich Homies, or Rich Homie Quinn, and he has this Discord server where he hosts all these scrims all the time when he's streaming. The only problem I have with these ones is that he doesn't host all the time, because he's a content creator. He can't be hosting for most of the day, so he only really hosts when he's streaming, and he only streams around nighttime from what I've seen. He normally hosts only during the night, so you just gonna have to kind of deal with that. I understand that not everyone wants to stay up just for scrims, but you're gonna have to kind of deal with that if you're trying to get some practice in. The scrims are really high quality though, since some of them are for money, and most people in this do take it pretty seriously, so you don't get grief too much, but they do still happen there and here and there, so you're just gonna have to kind of deal with that. But for West, those are the only servers I can really recommend. There's not that many Scrim servers on West that you can do, so that's why I recommend to a lot of you guys that are on NA West just like me, is to do East scrims. And I know you're gonna have super high ping, it's going to be super laggy, but it's the only way you can really get consistent practice. And there are a ton of East servers that you can join compared to West servers. And if you think about it, if you play on super high ping and then you go back to NA West to play like the Cash Cup, it's not going to feel laggy at all. So it's going to be pretty nice to play on high ping and then go back to low ping. So I recommend trying out some East scrims and trying out some of the servers I recommend. Alright, so for the first server is going to be East Open, very similar to West Open, so I'm not going to get into it too much. It has pretty similar problems, but they do host pretty often, so I recommend checking them out. The main server I really do recommend is Kangarna East Scrims, and I really like this server a lot. They do post a lot of solos, trios, and late game trio codes, so it's a pretty good variety. But the reason why I recommend this one the most is if you grind all these open customs, you can get into CXL Scrims. And what CXL Scrims is a private Discord server where they host daily scrims, no zone rules, so it's really realistic practice, and you play against really good players, so you can get the best practice for your tournament. The only problem with this is that it's not open. As I said, you have to grind for this through their ladders and all that stuff, and they do host ladders pretty often, so it's not like that's going to be a problem. So I recommend checking out Kangarna East Scrims. I think they're the best scrim server on NA East, so make sure you guys do join their Discord server and participate in all of these stuff. The next server I recommend is G2 Scrims, and this is very similar to Kangarna Scrims. They have a pretty similar format, but I feel like Kangarna Scrims is just a little bit more structured, and Kangarna Scrims does post more often, but they do host ladders as well, and they do host customs. So if you guys are looking for some more scrims and getting to more scrim servers, I recommend checking out G2 Scrims. They actually used to be called Atlantis, but G2 bought them out, so you can check out the server too. I'm pretty sure they do host some tournaments sometimes, but don't mark my words on that. But it is still a decent server that you guys can try out. Alright, and for the last scrim server I recommend is OA Manu Scrims, and I really like this scrim server a lot because he hosts a lot of ladders, which is really good because he actually tracks the tracks to kills and the placement points, so you actually won't get griefed too often because most people are trying to win and take it pretty seriously. There are prize pools for a lot of these ladders you do, so you can earn some money if you do win, and the rules are really cool. And he does post pretty often, but the main disadvantage to this one is he doesn't post every day compared to Congarna scrims or East Open, West Open, all that stuff. So but this is really high quality practice. If you're really trying to get the most practice possible, I recommend checking Owe Manu scrims. He does host pretty often, but it's not every day, so you can't get daily practice, but it's really high quality, so that's why I recommend the server a lot. Alright guys, and with all of that, those are the best scrim servers that you guys can play in. If you're looking for high quality and good practice, I recommend checking all of these ones out. And yeah, that's going to be the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.